Welcome back to the Lost Cause Ranch. We're back on the Resto Mod LS3 swapped Defender. As you can see, it's only half a Defender these days. But today, it's gonna get exhausting. That is right! Last episode you saw that we lost half a Defender. I mean, part of it was lost a long time ago, as you can see the rust and the missing frame bits. But today, we're hopping back over to the less rusty section of the Defender. That is our new galvanized chassis, LS3 engine from GM Performance. And today, we're gonna start fabricating the exhaust for this guy. So let's do it. We got all our bits sitting here. Needs to go on there. What we are gonna start off with is these ceramic coated exhaust manifolds we have here. Got to toss them on the engine, then we can start working our way back out through the frame. So we got the manifolds on and we just put our little reducer collector on the backside. And as you can see, that is pretty tight there with the big old V8. On the right hand side, we got way more room, but we are gonna have to contend with the drive shaft. So we'll probably snake this guy up along the side here, catalytic converter in this area, and dump it underneath the transmission and wire everything over on this side. We'll start chopping up some of the bends and get these guys tacked into place. Got our fancy little mounts from Summit, our oxygen sensor bungs, and we are going to be using V-bands for all the connection points on this guy. This stuff together, I just run zero filler. That way, if we need to break it off, it's super easy. And then when we go and clean everything up in final welding, we don't have a big glob of filler there that's gonna make that weld look not pretty. So we have the start of the left side exhaust going. That was Sasha. We got plenty of room to do some 90s off of these little AN fittings. Whoop, we're dripping. Let's try not to make a mess, Joe. So no, we got plenty of room, but no, we got plenty of room to do the cooler lines off there and not interfere with the exhaust or get too hot. Kind of hard to see, but that guy's got a little downward angle. And what we're gonna do is level that guy off and get the cat somewhere in that vicinity. Then we can do some heat shielding around this guy. I just don't want to burn anything up. Then on the back side of that, we're gonna vertical stack our little Y pipe, with the upper portion being the left-hand side and the lower portion being that right-hand side, passenger side exhaust pipe. So there is the driver's side pipe. We got the little turn down and V-band on there. This is gonna go connect to the passenger side pipe. Doesn't that look nice? Usually don't see a whole lot of 304 stainless and V-bands on Land Rovers, but makes me feel all warm and fuzzy when we do it that way. So now we got that pipe in there. It is tight around the frame rail, but has enough clearance, and we're gonna massage it some more after it's all fully welded. This is how it's going to sit at the Y, and plenty of clearance up by the transmission cooler lines. And now, being we have this guy locked down, we can work on the passenger side and getting it to meet up nicely. So we're underneath now, and we can lay this guy out. It's going to cross underneath the transmission pan, underneath the rear of the front drive shaft, and run along the passenger side frame rail right into that guy. We got Sasha under here. She is also taking a look at the situation. Loads of help, as you can see. We need to shorten this bend up. We want it to be about a 1/2 inch further this way, so you can kind of see where we're going to end up, and it should be tucked nicely and well above the lower cross member. This isn't the one that is going to be in it, but that sets the height for us so we know what we're dealing with. Along with that, we are not dead nuts on the drive shaft. This is the factory Defender drive shaft. As you can see, it is a tiny bit short, about 1.5 inches, so we'll get a new one made. That's to accommodate the transfer case being further back than the factory location with the big old GM 6-speed. So we have the front half of the passenger side pipe made up. We're going to bolt that guy onto the manifold there. Then we can get the piece that connects them together mocked up. We're in there, almost done with the Y pipe. We have that pipe in place, and we have decent clearance around the drive shaft now. We got some up travel, some down travel, and back here towards the U-joint in the front of the transfer case, it's not going to move very much just because of the close proximity there at the angle. So we're good there. So now we have air gap, and we need to come make a piece that comes down here, levels out right into that guy. I think that guy turned out pretty well. That's all tacked up. Slides underneath the pan nicely. We're all environmentally friendly here too, and have the catalytic converter in there. So while we have that guy off, we're going to rip this side back off and weld on the V-band flange on the back side here. That way the Y pipe on both sides can stay bolted up for the time being, and we can work on the rear without having to take this guy back off, so it'll all stay in place. So yeah, let's do that. So there's the Y pipe all tacked together and mocked up. We got our little V-band connection there, so it is easier to install in 2 pieces. O2 sensors are going to go in this vicinity on both sides. We're going to wait to put the bungs in until we get the wiring laid out for that guy. It has a GM Performance standalone harness for it, and if we can, I'd rather not chop that apart, or like the O2 sensors and stuff, if we don't need to. So we'll figure out length and everything and location off of that. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty snazzy. We'll get this guy set back in there. We're gonna wait to final weld the entire exhaust until we have the body sitting on it. This tub right here, that guy. Just in case there's any modifications that need to be done, we'll make it as easy as possible on us. So it's all bolted in. We have some tight clearance there, but we're gonna massage that pipe a little bit once it's all fully welded. Back here we have our Y pipe finished off with a 3-inch V-band. On the passenger side, we're tucked up near the outside frame rail. The cat is a little further up on the passenger side, and that is because we wanted to keep the heat away from the ends of the drive shaft. Didn't want to induce excess heat into the U-joints on either end and create a premature failure. And then it comes underneath the transmission pan and will be tucked up under the skid plate and fully protected. There's a shot of that Y pipe with the V-band connection. So let's grab the muffler and lay out this part. This is kind of exhaustive work. Pretty good exercise of the core rolling underneath there and doing all the crunches getting back up. Land Rovers, they're good for your health. Not your mental health, maybe your physical health. So that's where we're gonna get to today on the exhaust. But here is the muffler that is gonna go in the back. This is a Vibrant Performance straight through guy. So between the cats and this guy, we should have a nice, good tone to it. What I'm thinking on this guy is somewhere in that vicinity. Then we'll use some of this straight, tuck it up underneath and shoot back over towards the frame rail and chop this guy apart. It won't be a complete 180 to go up over the axle and give plenty of clearance for some up travel. Then from that point, we'll shoot it back under, kind of in the factory fashion, over to the driver's side here. And with that, we're gonna make up kind of a neat little exhaust tip, a little homage to the factory Defender rolled one, but our own little custom jobber. So make sure to stay tuned. Next video, we'll finish up laying out the exhaust along with ripping more of this guy apart. So make sure to tune in next week for some more LS3 Defender content. It's not stock. It's not going back to stock. It's missing a bit. But at least it's not gonna be a soup can. Another Rover rescue. We're gonna make this thing hella good. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh, you may have noticed Sasha's around helping out quite a bit more than she used to. We've been bringing her to the shop lately because we had to put her little buddy down a couple weeks ago and don't want to leave her alone. So we got a new helper. She'll probably be in the way of the camera. We're all just gonna have to deal with that, I guess.